Good day, gardeners. Peter from Planter here. I've got my GreenStalk garden right here, and it's the Inventor's Bundle. It's got 3 of the smaller layers, 3 of the bigger layers. I love it. And one of the things I love about it is it's got an automatic watering system. So, you know, the water comes in here, it fills up the top reservoir, and you can connect to your hose down here. The one downside to that is if you have one of these spinning bases like I've got right here, you have to disconnect the hose. You might need to reposition the connectors on the side of the GreenStalk. It just doesn't work very well if you want to rotate your garden so that every plant gets, you know, an equal amount of sunlight throughout the season. So I've actually thought of a cool new way to integrate automatic watering with the spinner base, so you don't need to disconnect the hose ever. You can keep it on a timer. You can rotate it whenever you want to get the veggies from the other side. As you can see, mine's on the deck up here, so you know I have to spin it around to get to whatever's on the other side. Alright, let's see how it goes. Alright, so just to get started, I need to take this whole thing apart, and then I'll be able to reassemble it on the spinner base with my new little hack, and I'll show you that hack soon. Oh, look at that. Got some green onions popping up. I just planted those maybe a week ago. Real excited about those. I really wanted to get this project done before anything grew too much more, because it's already going to get kind of difficult to stack these again when I'm done without squishing too many of the plants. Alright, so what we've got here is the spinner base, and ordinarily this spinner base has a screw. It's got a hex thread to it. Let's see right there. And that screw goes right here. You're going to want to take that screw out and then take a drill, and after you flip it all over, once you take that screw out, this base will come apart. So you take the top part off, take your drill, and drill out that hole until you go all the way through. I use a 1/4 inch bit. You might need to use a little bit bigger. You don't want to go too much bigger, otherwise you might kind of go past that plastic there. So once you do that, then you're going to want to take some 1/4 inch RODI tubing, and you want to get it black. The reason for that is if you get the clear tubing, you might have some algae growing from the sun within the tubing. You really want to avoid that. So something that's like opaque, that won't grow algae. So then you can just stick it through that hole that you just made. Alright. And now this tubing is what's going to go up through that center hole within the GreenStalk, the same hole that lets the water flow back down when you fill it normally. And so we're going to go all the way up to the top, and then at the very top we're going to cap it. You can use like a you could probably just tilt it down. I'm going to try to use this right at the top to make sure that the water doesn't go straight up, that it might go to the side. And then on the other end I've got this. This is a 1/4 inch RODI tubing to garden hose adapter. So this will work perfectly to get the water from the garden hose into this tube. Right, now it's important when you lay it down, pay attention to where the drain hose is and where your inlet hose is going to be, because once you get all the layers on it, you're not going to want to move it again. So to make sure that that actually lines up with the crack there so that it can drain through the deck. And now it's time to get the layers of the garden on there. So I'm going to take the bottom layer. Alright. I'm going to tilt it up on its side. And I kind of fed it through the bottom. Let's see how this works. Perfect. Okay. So it came up through there. You can see that, and we're just going to do that layer by layer until we have it all the way up to the top. All right, so now we've got all 6 layers on there. You can see the hose is peeking out the top. I can rotate the garden bed. That hose stays just where it is. Now it's time to get the final reservoir on. All right, we got the final reservoir on the top. Okay, so let me bring this closer. You can see there's the hose poking through, and then if you just leave it like this and put the top on, the water should hit the top, theoretically, and then just fall back down. However, I don't really want to chance that. I'm just going to put on my little T adapter and see how that does. So there we go. Alright, now I was planning originally to just cut it off right at the base and then drag my hose up here, but I got thinking, well, why not just have this little hose snake down the deck? Our deck is about 1 story up on this side. So then I can have this hose going down to the ground instead of one big hose going up. So I measured it out. I want to cut it right here, so I'm just going to take regular scissors. You don't need anything special. And then I'm going to feed it down to the ground where I'm going to connect the hose. Alright, so now I'm going to snake it down through the side of the deck. And I'll connect it to the hose down there. Alright, now I'm below my deck here. I'm going to connect the final things. And then we can test this and see if it actually works. Might have all been for naught. I think it'll work. Famous last words. Okay. I've got a little bit too much, but I can always trim that later. Gonna connect that right there. All right, now we can see. Turn on the water and see how it works. Working. I only turn on the hose a little bit just to test. This seems pretty good. It's not like spraying everywhere. It's staying within the reservoir. If I keep this going for maybe 10 minutes, it should fill up the whole thing. And look at this. Can't even do that. Kind of reminds me of a drinking fountain. I almost want to take a drink. So, there it is. The DIY watering solution for GreenStalk that you can still rotate your garden around. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. Let me know down in the comments if you're going to do that too. And how it works for you, or if you have other ideas for ways to make GreenStalks a little bit easier to manage, even easier than they already are. So, alright, thanks for watching. Bye.